Welcome to Roho Inn, a traditional Japanese garden which transports the essence of Asian culture and philosophy to the Sonoran Desert. Inside the gates lies Arizona's first authentic public Japanese garden, 3.5 acres of tranquility. Designed to be a place of meditation and contemplation, Roho Inn is best enjoyed by strolling and absorbing its grace and beauty. The garden is a shared vision of sister cities, Phoenix, Arizona, and Himeji, Japan, whose union began in 1976. Himeji, Japan, located 350 miles from Tokyo, is best known for its completely preserved Himeji Castle built in the 1600s. The garden is an art form in Japan, as well as a significant part of Japanese culture and traditional beauty. So in 1987, Himeji's mayor, Totani, proposed the idea that a Japanese garden be constructed in Phoenix to fortify the bond between the two cities. To this day, Roho Inn is known in Phoenix as the Japanese Friendship Garden. How did the garden get its name? While Phoenix is known for the mythological phoenix bird, Himeji Castle is known as the White Heron. These symbols make up the Friendship Garden's Japanese name, Roho Inn. Ro means heron, Ho is the Japanese word for the phoenix bird, and Inn means garden. Himeji offered as a gift to the city of Phoenix to design the garden. These were the first design plans. More than 50 Himeji landscape and garden architects contributed their knowledge and time to the project. Their guidance and expertise helped ensure the project would respect centuries of tradition by emulating the masters of traditional Japanese garden design. In addition to designing the garden, they made dozens of trips to Phoenix to investigate the soil and desert climate, determine suitable local plants, handpick the raw materials, and oversee construction. A section of Margaret T. Hance Park was selected as the site for the ambitious project. This wide expanse was transformed into the Friendship Garden in 3 phases. Before any construction could take place, the raw materials were needed, specifically rock and stone. Rock and stone are often described as the backbone of the Japanese garden, and that's true at Roho Inn. 1,500 tons of rock and stone line the garden's stream beds, walking paths, pond, and waterfall. All of the stone and boulders came from across the state of Arizona. The Himeji architects, along with City of Phoenix staff and volunteers, traveled the state looking for the proper rocks. When they located one that was just right, they had them shipped to Phoenix. With the necessary rocks procured, Phase 1, construction of the traditional Japanese tea house and its garden, began in 1995. The architecture and landscape for the tea house and traditional tea garden came straight from Japan. The structure was built under the watchful eyes and direction of the Himeji architects. Included were traditional Japanese tile and a copper roof. Surrounding the tea garden is a bamboo fence, a traditional design feature. It was put together by hand. These specific knots are a Japanese technique. 5 years after the tea house construction, Phase 2, the garden itself, began in 2001. Over 10 months, it would slowly come to life. Once again, the Himeji landscape architects made numerous trips to Phoenix to work alongside construction crews. This hands-on approach was a bit unusual. It wasn't part of their day-to-day jobs back in Japan. But this was a special project. They wanted to show respect for their sister city and literally got into the trenches themselves. Case in point, here some are helping place the giant boulders that make up the 12-foot waterfall. All of the rock and stone used in the garden's walkways were precisely positioned. The cobblestones forming this beach were placed by hand, a painstaking process that paid off beautifully in the end. Bridges are an essential part of an authentic Japanese garden. Made of granite, Roho Inn's bridges were made overseas and transported to Phoenix. In the Japanese garden, water is considered a symbol of purity and happiness. The garden's pond is filled with 500,000 gallons of water. Water lilies and irises float on top, a truly unexpected sight in this desert climate. Lush pine and elm trees circle the pond, creating shade throughout the garden. Once again, Himeji expertise was enlisted. Japanese gardeners assisted with the selection of the garden's greenery. The designers needed to choose plants that mimicked traditional Japanese gardens, but could also withstand the rigors of the desert climate. Based on their advice and selection, more than 65 types of ground covers, shrubs, and trees are planted throughout Roho Inn. Roho Inn also represents the generosity of the citizens of Himeji. All of the decorative features throughout the garden, the lanterns and sculpture, were gifts from the Himeji people, including this soaring stone tower and sachi, an ornament found on the famous Himeji Castle. It's half tiger and half fish. Roho Inn officially opened its gates to the public in November 2002. In January of 2004, the garden was officially dedicated, bringing together the people of Phoenix and Himeji to rejoice in this remarkable achievement of transporting the spirit of Japan to the Valley of the Sun. The highlight of the dedication was the koi fish, called the Jewels of Japan. 50 koi, which came from Japan, were released into the garden's pond. By 2012, their numbers reached more than 300. And they continue spawning new generations of koi. In 2008, 6 years after the gates of Roho Inn opened, Phase 3, construction of the Seichin restroom, got underway, bringing the return of the Himeji architects. Built in traditional Japanese architectural style, it was designed to be harmonious with the garden's serene setting. Today, Roho Inn is a feast for the eyes, ears, and soul. This shared vision, brought to life by the Japanese and Phoenicians, is a peaceful, restful setting designed for people to stroll, count koi,
6, 7, 8.
relax, and meditate. The city of Phoenix owes a debt of gratitude to Himeji and its designers and architects. Roho Inn, the Japanese friendship garden, is remarkable in many ways. It's operated today through a unique public-private nonprofit partnership. But its lasting legacy will be the bond between Himeji and Phoenix.